Hello everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a recent reads video? Question mark? Let's jump right into it. I have not updated you on my reading since June. So I have July, August, and September to talk to you about. Did I read a ton? No. Did I read some things? Yes. So we're gonna jump right into them. Unlike other months where I've done like a vlog style wrap up, I just haven't been doing enough reading to warrant a vlog. So I have organized these by rating. We're gonna start with the DNFs and then we will go from there. I have a piece of paper because I don't have everything physically because I've unhauled some things and some of them were ARCs and on my e-reader and I'm not pulling that up. In the month of July, I read 7 books. In the month of August, I read 5. In the month of September, I read 6. In October, so far, I have read 1. And today is the what? The 12th. It's not great, but considering how busy I've been, I'm going to allow it. I had some DNFs though. The DNFs were upsetting for me. One of them was Angel of the Overpass by Shauna McGuire. I love this series. Girl in the Green Silk Gown and Sparrow Hill Road. Loved the two of those. This thing went off the rails so freaking hard that I stopped. We were listening to the audiobook. I got 134 pages in, like a considerable chunk, and I just said, I have got to stop. It was putting me in the biggest slump. I didn't have a ton of time to read, and I thought it was going to be a 5-star read, and I thought I was going to be able to get into it and have like no problems. But this did not do what I thought it was going to do. There was like dinosaurs coming out of the tar and like DNA of the dinosaurs, and like I just wanted to see our ghost, you know, take on the big bad and like gather her team around her. She's got like all these like allies now, and instead I got just weird shit and I didn't like it. I DNF'd it. I also DNF'd Kill Creek. I DNF'd this at 111 pages. I hated it so much. There's obviously unlikable characters. I don't think we're supposed to like any of the authors that are being taken to this haunted house. I don't think we're supposed to like them, right? That's fine. There is such obvious fat phobia in this, and there is such obvious sexism in this that I could not look past it. Let me just share with you, shall I? This woman is described as being 38 years old, cut like marble, defined but not obscenely muscular, sexy but not grotesque. Oh. So the muscles are usually grotesque, but she's not obscenely muscular or grotesque, so that's fine. Hate it. I hate it here. Then we have a man who's overweight, and he rocked in the bed, but the pillow top mattress seemed to only sink beneath his immense weight. He couldn't get out of bed, like described as not being able to get out of bed because of his immense weight. Sam observed, based on the considerable bulge hanging over his pants. Daniel's chubby arms were pale against the short sleeves of his shirt, his flesh the pinkish gray of a dead fish's belly. Yep, fat people. And then the woman, who's muscular but not grotesque, says to Daniel, the heavy man, "You sure this elevator's been looked at? You sure it's, you know, still safe?" And the girl goes, "I don't think the elevator's a problem here, big guy. Maybe you should take the stairs." Which is about when I said, fuck you, to this book and put that to the side. So absolutely hated that. I also DNF'd The Ghostwriter by Alessandra Torre. Fuck that. Have not liked anything that she has written outside of the Girl in 6E, Diana Madden series. Have hated everything. Can't stand it. So those were my 3 DNFs. Then I had a 2-star read, which was We Need to Do Something, which was a horror novella. It was a closed room horror about a family stuck in a bathroom after like a tornado or some kind of storm hits and a tree falls and it blocks them in the bathroom, and then shit happens. I hated it. I hated everything about it. Then we have some 3 stars and a 3.5. So I will get into that. First 3-star is In the Garden of Spite by Camilla Bruce. Didn't love this. This is a fictionalized story of a real person, Belle Gunnis, who was a serial killer in Chicago. It's historical. I mean, it's quite a while ago, but like, didn't love it. It was weird. Listening to it was fine, but I'm going to pass this on to somebody who actually likes true crime, but not fiction, because I think this is like a good blend. I also read Darling by Kay Ancrum. You guys know I love Kay Ancrum. This was dark, like dark Peter Pan retelling. I like the found family. I'm a big fan of found family, but this did not hit where I wanted it to. I know Kay Ankrum said that this was a departure. This was not her traditional writing. This was really her writing to market and her trying to be market friendly. And I prefer when she writes authentically. You can still see so much of her in this, so much of her in the characterization and in the writing style, in the queerness, in the like dark way that families are formed between kids in like really bad situations. But I didn't love it. So 3 stars. All We Could Have Been by T.E. Carter. I loved I Stopped Somewhere. This one did not work for me. This is about a girl whose brother is in jail after the neighbors are horrifically murdered, and it follows her trying to navigate a world where she's always known as like the girl whose brother did something horrible. And I didn't love it. And there's a lot of like the boy who fixed you, even though she says like he didn't fix me, and I'm like, yeah, but no, you're kind of pitching it as like he fixed you. Also read The Brightlands. I listened to the audiobook for that. It was fine. I didn't love it. Does it talk about toxic masculinity? Yes. Do I appreciate that that's being addressed? Also yes. Do I think it was addressed in a way that makes it like incredibly clear that that was the point of it? Not really. And I also thought it was going to be a horror, and there was no real supernatural horror-y aspect to it, so that was weird. A History of Wild Places, The Ark by Shay Earnshaw. This is her adult debut, and this one follows kind of commune in the woods. It follows a man who's trying to find an author who went missing years ago, and he leaves to try to find her. And it's twisty, and it's like a little bit like creepy, and I was there for it. Like I was all in, and then the like twist reveal came, and I went, you lost me. I'm out. Like I'm hard out. And then there was like another twist at the end, and I was like, now I really don't care. Some of the atmosphere was fantastic, but the plot twists and the character motivations behind things, yeah, I'm gone. You lost me. Also, Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I love Sorcery of Thorns. I loved Enchantment of Ravens, but Vespertine lost me. Now, I know from the author that there's a lot of changes between the ARC and the finished copy. She said that it was not her best writing. She was really in a dark place during COVID, during quarantine, and the writing reflects that. I'm hoping that significant changes are made to the finished version, but it also does follow just a plot that I'm not a fan of. It's a very religious-based plot where there's a girl who has to like store a relic of like a dead god or ghost or something. She's like inhabited by a ghost or a relic, and then she's like tasked with taking down and or rooting out the evil in like a priesthood. It's not my jam, and I don't think that the writing style is what made me not love it. I think it was more plot based. So unfortunately, I did have it pre-ordered, and after I read it, I actually canceled my pre-order. So I'm gonna wait and see what people say about the finished version, and if like the reviews are great, I might go back to it and pick it up, because I do like her. A History of Wild Places actually gave 3.25 stars. Thank you, StoryGraph. 3.5 stars was Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. I love Alice Feeney. I really like that she gets like really twisty and really dark with her writing. It's like a UK, Irish, like foreign writer thing, and I love her style. This one fell a little bit flat. I saw like all the twists coming except for like the twist on the last page. By then I was just like, oh, okay, you know, like no big deal. It does follow a main character who has face blindness, which was interesting to like play with and see how she played with that as an author, because there's a lot that you can kind of hide from that character because of their face blindness. So that was interesting. 4-star reads. 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This one is an isolation COVID story. This is a closed room mystery. We have a death after quarantine for COVID, and we kind of unravel by going back and forth different days, like day 1 of quarantine, pre-quarantine, and then like 56 days later and 23 days before, and we kind of go back and forth in her typical writing style. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. I saw the twists coming, except for like maybe the very, very last one. But like also, that's fine. I think with Catherine Ryan Howard, typically you do see the twist coming. You're not meant to necessarily be caught completely off guard by them. But the cool thing, like, I like that about her books. Like, I like that about her writing, is that you can kind of sleuth it out with her, and then every now and then there's like an aha moment where you're like, ooh, I knew that was going to happen, but not this part of that thing. And I like that, because then nothing feels like completely off base. Like, everything kind of fits. The POV of the police in like the current day, could have done without. Didn't care. Like, really, they didn't add that much. There was like a weird tension between our female investigator and a male investigator, and that kind of went nowhere. And I was like, what purpose does this serve? The answer is none. So I feel like we could have really done without that. Like, it didn't add enough for me. Then we have The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin, which I really did enjoy. This one comes with some content warnings for grief and loss of loved ones, but it's like beautifully queer and really, really cool. And I liked the magic system in this. This has witches that are born on equinoxes that have the powers of that like particular equinox. So they have different seasonal magics, and then our main character is an Everwitch who has magic through all the seasons instead of their magic like peaking and then waning in when it's not their season. So this is a really cool concept, and I really did enjoy it. So that was a 4-star read. And then we have E. Lockhart's Again. This one is very like dimension, like time dimension-ese, and like how things could have played out in different circumstances between two teens. It's interesting. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It's like a low 4-star, and I'm probably going to unhaul it because it's not, I don't think it's something that I need in my life, and I don't really remember anything about it now that I've read it. I read this in July, so it's been a minute, which might make sense why I don't remember it, but like, I really don't remember it. Then I have Everyone Dies Famous in a Small Town by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock, and this is her sequel and follow-up book to The Smell of Other People's Houses. This is a set of short stories that follow Alaskan towns and Alaskan residents, which is like her thing. I do have tabs. I did enjoy it, but it's not my favorite. Not every story kind of hit a mark for me. All of them had something that I liked, but I don't think any of them were as impactful or as meaningful as the whole of The Smell of Other People's Houses. I'm excited to see what she does with an actual full-length novel again, as opposed to these short stories, but I didn't hate it. I gave it 4 stars. I think that's it. Now we're going to get into the 5-star reads. The only one that I don't have is A Galaxy in the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. I listened to this one, did not actually own it because I'm waiting for the UK to come out with a paperback, and for some reason, unlike all of the other books, they came out with just the hardcover first and not the paperback at the same time, and I've got the paperback of all of her books, so I'm waiting on that one. But that sucks because I really, really loved it. It's diverse and fantastic and perfectly Becky Chambers. Then I read A Psalm for the Wild Built, also by Becky Chambers. This is a novella. I did buy this one in hardcover because, again, I couldn't get it in paperback, and I needed to read it. And it's a 5-star. This follows a tea monk who travels offering tea and advice and comfort and kind of like confession-y kind of things to the disciples that he visits, and his teas are meant to be like specific to that person and their needs and like to soothe them. And he travels, and then he finds a robot, and in this world the robots have left the humans. They have gained sentience, and they have decided that they don't want to be indebted to humans. They have parted ways. They have left for the humans to just make do on their own, and all of the robots have left except this priest, this monk, finds a robot, and then they go on a journey together, and it's very sweet. And I did really love it, and I did give it 5 stars, and I am very excited for the next one. Becky Chambers has me. Like, whatever she writes, I'm probs gonna read. The next one is a shameless plug, and I don't feel bad about it. I read this book about 20 times, so I'm counting it at least once. It counts on my page count at least once, okay? And it's a 5-star read because I wrote it. It's my book. It's A Curse in Ash. She meaty. She chunky. I love her, but I've read her so many times that I kind of never want to read it again. Truly do love it. Am proud of it. If you haven't picked it up yet, maybe consider it. It'll be linked down below. And then the last 5-star read is one that kind of broke me, and as a Greek, feel like a horrible Greek because I did not know enough about this particular character in Greek mythology, and I'm glad I do now, or know a little bit more now. and that is Medusa by Rosie Hewlett. This one follows the story of Medusa from Medusa's POV and tells us how she became a Gorgon, which was through horrific acts of sexual violence and rape. Her life after that, and kind of being like cursed to this life because of a man and because of a woman who got jealous and angry because attention was paid to her that she didn't want. And it was bullshit. And I got so angry and so emotional, and I cried so much, like ugly tears, while I was up the mountains trying to do writing. And I took a break and I was like, I'll just finish this book. And then it broke me. And I'm really glad that I read it. I picked this one up because of Jessica over at Jessica Williamson, and I am very glad that I picked it up. She also laughed at me for making me cry and said she didn't care and that it didn't matter, and I deserved it because I've made people read Beartown and other books that broke them, so it was payback. And she's not wrong, but she could have been a little apologetic. Anyway, she knows I love her, and this was phenomenal. If you have any interest in Medusa or the mythology around her, and then reading about her from her point of view, which was tragic and really difficult, but like I'm really glad I read it, then this is a great one. It's really short and it was phenomenal. And I think that wraps up everything. And technically I finished Rock, Paper, Scissors this month in October. So you're getting a bonus because it's the only thing I finished for October. It really is my recent reads because that is everything that I've read since the last time I talked to you. It's not much, but it's not nothing. And quite frankly, as much as I've been writing, like not nothing is better than nothing. This is a lot. And look at the tabs. Like I'm still tabbing stuff. That makes me happy. Like there's tabs in a lot of these books. I've really been holding strong to like wanting to read and tab. This is all while writing book 2 and marketing book 1. I'm proud of me, damn it. And hopefully I will have more booktube content for you soon because I miss reading and I'm trying to get back into it. I really am. That's going to be everything for me. That's it for this wrap up. I will try to be better about keeping you up to date in the future, but I make no promises anymore. I'm going to give it my all. I'm in the middle of reading 3 different books right now. I'm in the middle of reading Priest, which is a smutty book. I'm in the middle of reading Symbiote, which is the second to the Parasitology series by Myra Grant. And I'm in the middle of reading Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, which is an arc that I'm late on getting to. So hopefully I will have a wrap up for you on those at some point soon. But for now, that is everything. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.